Rev up your engines!
Thomas Rossi says, what are your thoughts on Stabil? I'm wondering whether to put the Stabil gas treatment into my vehicles if I'm storing them. Okay, it does work. Modern gasoline isn't made to last all that long. So if you got something that's sitting for 6 months or more, it's a good idea to read the directions on the Stabil can, put that in to keep it from deteriorating while it's sitting there. But that said, I've read the Stabil instructions, and normally they're telling you that it's only good for maybe a year and a half. So if you're storing it for a real long period of time, you're better to empty the whole fuel system out and leaving nothing in it than you are leaving fuel in it expecting it to be good, because modern gasoline is a lot weaker than it was when I was a young mechanic in the 60s. Back then, you could have a motorcycle, let it sit for 3 or 4 years with the gas in the tank, and then just crank it up and start right up, driving around a little, and then fill it up with new gas, and it'd be okay. Modern gasoline isn't that stable. It won't last that long, and even with the stabilizer stuck in it, it's still not going to be all that long life. And they even warn you on the directions if you read the directions. Of course, Scotty, how reliable are Honda CR-V 2003 compared to other cars? Well, actually, that's one of Honda's best vehicles. The CR-Vs can run a long time. I got a customer's one that's got 320,000 miles and still runs like a clock. Sure, it rattles a little here and there, you know, I mean, anything that old's going to start rattling, but they can run forever if you take care of those things. Geez, you know, regularly. Don't overheat the engines. You know, those things were solid built vehicles. I'm amazed at some of the abuse that my customers' ones have taken. Some of them, the only thing they do is change oil. They don't do anything else. They're still running down the road. They are very good vehicles. The only real problems that I've seen with the CR-Vs are, I live in Houston and it's real hot down here all the time, that their air conditioners were poorly made on some of them, and the air conditioning compressors would blow right off. The shafts are too small and they'd snap, and you had to replace the air conditioning compressors. But other than that, they're pretty decent vehicles. Jeremiah Nolan, he says, Scotty, I have an 01 Dodge Ram 1500 5.9 liter and the tranny went out. The engine run great. Should I get a junkyard transmission for $550? Thanks. You got to put your thinking cap on for this one. Those have horrible transmissions, but it's 18 years old. If you buy an 18-year-old junkyard transmission, that's one of the few things that's going to fit. The new ones won't fit that old vehicle. Taking a real gamble. I mean, $550 isn't all that much money, but then you got to put it on, do all that work. And if it doesn't work, you're back to square one. Most guys, if they like the vehicle, they'll get a factory manufactured one, put it in, and then it can run for quite some time. They do a decent job at the factory remanufactured ones. But just buying one from a junkyard, now, let's say it was a Toyota, I'd say sure, because the Toyota transmissions hardly ever break. So if you buy a used one in a junkyard, odds are it's going to still be pretty good. But the Chryslers, they break all the time. And if you buy a used transmission, you're really taking quite a bit of gamble right there. I personally wouldn't do it. F-Quiz says, hey, what brand new two-door car would you recommend, or any regular sedan out there in the market? Get a Toyota Corolla. Those things can run forever. They make them with various doors, of course, but you can still get a two-door. Or a Honda Civic. If you like standard transmissions, the Honda Civic would be a better choice because they're really zippy little cars. But their automatic transmissions are a little iffy, so if you're talking about a two-door automatic transmission car, I'd say get a Toyota Corolla. That would be the best thing that you could get. It's going to last a long time, not have any problems, and still not cost all that much money. If you like a Camry, yeah, they're even better, but they cost a lot more money than the Corollas do. Some guy says, Scotty, what do you think about older Suzuki cars like the Baleno sedan 97? I heard Suzuki make great engines, but the rest of the car is weaker. Yeah, that is true. Suzuki was originally a motorcycle company. Actually, before that, they made looms to make fabric and stuff, but they ended up making motorcycles. And they make great motorcycles, killers. I had a Suzuki 750. That thing was bulletproof, no problems at all. And their car engines, they're decent. But the rest of the vehicles are kind of They pulled out of the United States decades ago because they had so many problems with people not being able to fix them, and with them breaking down, and with them being, their motorcycle engines, of course, are small, put out a lot of horsepower for 2 wheels, but for 4 wheels, they were underpowered vehicles. But I mean, if you like the Baleno sedan 97, you can get one cheap enough. If you're somewhere else in the world besides the United States, go right ahead. It's just that here, you can't get parts for Suzuki cars. It's a pain in the butt. So I would not advise anybody to buy a Suzuki car in the United States because they're just so hard to get parts for.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.